welcome back to my channel. Obviously I'm a bottle digger. These are some of my good ones from over the years. I also dig and come across pieces of stoneware and pottery. It's a little piece of redware, but I pulled down some of my very best ones that I got. And I just wanted to tell you where I got them, where I found them. This is my very, very best, I would say. And it came out of Otter Creek up in Middlebury, Vermont, scuba diving. And I got that one and this spittoon. You can see it's a redware spittoon, and it's basically unglazed, but it's actually got a little bit of a glaze to it. I don't know if you can see it along the edge here. It was glazed around the edge like that. Some of the glaze came off. And this is a kind of an unidentified item. Some people say it's a large candlestick. Unfortunately, it's broken there. I haven't quite identified that one yet. I haven't seen one quite like it. This beautiful one, I couldn't believe when I pulled it out. It was white, you know, with river muck, and I was just amazed it was whole. And I'm like, hey, cool, I got a nice old crock. And then I could tell it was redware when I looked down the bottom. And then I got over to the shore and I started scratching it like that. And I'm like, holy crap, it's glazed. And it's so that's a Vermont piece from the Middlebury area. As is this one. This is not the right lid to it, but it fits. This one I got in the Ipswich River down in Massachusetts, along with this one, which was pretty close to being whole. That's a milk pan. It's a great big milk pan. Super old and crude. And this was actually in the Parker River in Massachusetts. That would have been nice. And then this one here is mocha-ware, but it's similar era, early to mid 1800s. That came out of a small river, like chest deep. I was just snorkeling, and there she was in the silt. But this week we went bottle digging up in Vermont, looking for new dumps, and we discovered what I believe is a new pottery, and I'm going to show you that experience and then show you all the remnants and shards and pieces and kiln pieces and kiln furniture from this early 1800s dump in northern New Hampshire. And I hope you find it interesting. All right, here's some of the more interesting shards that I've taken home and washed off. The dump itself is gargantuan, and the shards they're broken. The ones that didn't make the cut, and they tossed them down into this big pit, which is the same pit that they got their clay from. It looked like they dug their clay out, and each time they'd go down to get more clay, they would dump their broken ones down in there. So we really didn't find anything complete, unfortunately, but there's some valuable shards and some interesting stuff. I think this little trio here was pretty interesting. This in particular would have been a miniature ovoid, like I'm thinking, you know, 5 inches tall, which you don't often see. Let's kind of go through these. Oh yeah, there's the third one. This is the only one that I found that had a glaze like that with the modeling, you know, the splotchy stuff, the green. There really were very, very few like this. This stuff is so beautiful when it's whole. Here's some of the glaze. You can see the glaze didn't take properly, so they probably tossed it. There's the edge of maybe a milk pan. There's a very big handle of some sort. I don't know what it was. It's wider than a normal handle. You see some of the other glazes here. These are, this I forgot to put in the prior video. I got this years ago out of the Piscataqua River in Elliott, and it's a boat model that somebody carved out of a brick. Like, it's about the same size as a brick, and they would have put wooden dowels there and a sail, and it would have sat up on somebody's shelf for decoration. We did get some real early shards, glass shards. We got 1 or 2 bottles. We got a cruet that was in one piece. This one here would have been an especially nice utility. It's a really nice utility, but the size, the dimensions of it would have been really interesting. I think it's a little wider, fatter than normal utility bottle. A couple of, I believe that was Masta's, Lowell Masta's medicine of some sort. There's another one. Obviously you can see that's real early. There's a few pieces of china, not much china, but I don't know what that glaze is called. It's like made with a sponge type of application. Super early. Anything that I saw that had any kind of markings at all, there were very few that had these lined markings. That was one. Here's some larger crocks. And I just got different samplings of the glazes. They're all blue, they're all dark brown, chocolate brown to green. And as a collector, to me, anything, if you get anything with the green, the greener shade is more desirable as far as I'm concerned. There's the edge of a big crock. Now here's where we got into kiln furniture, which was really exciting. This was very, very cool. We dug one, then we dug the other, and I wasn't sure what it was at first, and then it dawned on me it's got to be kiln furniture. And then got this thing, and I really looked. I thought it was a tobacco jar, but as it turns out, this is a piece of kiln furniture also, and evidently it would have sat down inside another pot so that you could stack a second pot on top of it, because kiln space was really valuable. Every square inch you wanted to use in any way you could. This is almost a whole custard cup. Pretty bashed up, but at least you can see the dimensions and the style and the lines around there. For me, this was the coolest thing of all. This was one of these crock pots, but it has a piece of one of these kiln things fused to it. So they took it out, it broke, or it stuck to the bottom of the kiln. The glaze maybe got underneath it where it shouldn't have been and made it stick to the pot. But it's so cool to have a, you have a, typically, you use a kiln pot, bigger pot than that to use on a stilt that size. But to have one, you can just see it sitting there in the kiln back in the 1840s. And then there was this thing which I'm thinking was a piece of I think it was a piece of the kiln itself, like maybe the kiln door sat sideways and clipped in like that. So I'm not sure what that was, but I'm betting it was part of the kiln itself. So I've got quite a few more that I'm still sorting out and washing and keeping them so that I remember where I dug each one for reference. But I hope you find this interesting, and I hope we can get in a couple more digs before the ground really freezes up. And thanks for watching. So starting right here, you can tell where the potter dug this big hole. It's about 40 feet by 40 feet. And and it appears that they dug, and this was the source for their clay. And then when they smashed and broke pots as they worked, they'd come down and get more clay, and at the same time they would just dump all their broken shards here, and that's what it appears we're finding. And it's so interesting. I'm gonna get a close-up of the blue clay. That's a seal to a big old wine bottle, like probably free blown, and this was laid over it. But here's some of the clay is just perfect. Some spots are really soft, like you could just make a pot out of it so easily. Some spots down low are super thin. I should dig here more because that dirt looks trashy. What?
Oh, I just
oh, good.
dug a very nice case. Looks like a blacking bottle, but it's very large. So maybe it's a large size blacking bottle. It's definitely. I tell you, the only thing I know is I wish it was whole.
It's a large size pontal.
Oh.
Where's that neck thing you saw?
Oh, the neck thing. Here. String lip. I mean, that's very early.
I found a seal earlier, and so we're looking for the seal to this one. You're in a little pocket of glass, maybe? Or is that just shiny?
It's been like this kind of the whole time.
Shiny pottery.
Which is very shiny pottery. Like this, you know, a lot of these little glazed pieces.
Yep, this is a pottery on near the Connecticut River. Probably more than 2,000 pots.
Yeah.
Broken.
Broken. Right.
And we're looking for, we're saving shards that have glaze and just anything that appears to be interesting.
See what happens when I pull this thing out.
That's what she said.
Might have to excavate a little more.
Is it pottery?
Yeah. I think that's the bottom to that piece right there.
Yeah,
doesn't it look like
real
it?
oddball one.
It's got this right crazy glaze on the inside, and I don't know. It sure looks like the same thing. Oh yeah, there's more of it. Really muddy.
That's pottery. That's really early glass.
Nothing new, or newish.
Yeah.
Nothing after 1880. Really.
No, there was nobody here since the Civil War. Maybe that's where they went.
Maybe. That's an interesting thought. Definitely.
Here's a good thick layer.
This is kind of how it looks. Like, I'll show you. And in here, there's like this layer of crushed stuff on top.
Looks so white.
This is all this white is stuff like this that's kind of rolled down. I think like more modern. You know, I say that. Well, that's not modern.
Well, like that hand painted one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hand painted one right there.
Yeah. And then.
Let me put that in the.
Oh yeah. Oops. That's so slippery. And then you get down a little further, and it turns into just big chunks.
And I'm sure you keep seeing shiny things like I'm looking at that. You're like, oh, that's a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Shiny
but it
glaze.
really turns out to be a piece of glaze.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of broken pots and bricks in the sort of midsection.
All right, just so I don't drive myself crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight above your hand to the right.
Where this?
Right there. Yeah.
That's the neck of the That thing, that was where that was.
Oh, it's the suction hole?
Yeah, exactly. It's mud.
Boy, you don't get many string lipped pieces.
No.
Including us, because we didn't get one. We got string lipped
Close.
so far. So far. That's a lot of broken stuff.
Just tons of it. Tons of it. And every once in a while you'll find, like, I think this is a piece of glass broken in, but for the most part it's just all broken redware. 99.9% redware. Every once in a while you'll find like a piece of, more recent stoneware.
Yep. All right, let's find that pocket.
Let's do it.
I feel it's broken, but it's not.
I feel this thing's broken down here.
It's not a
Can you guys see
T&M.
this
Oh,
tunnel?
yeah, that looks.
Well, that's certainly Pomple aged. A lot of this stuff coming out that's just like, oh, one heartbreaker. I feel like the cork's, nope, not a cork, but yeah, very mucky, very applied.
I think you're gonna find something whole.
That would be cool.
I just jinxed them forever.